Elementary Science Class 7. Nutrition in Plants. Photosynthesis, food making process in plants. Did you know that leaves are the food factories of plants?
Really? I didn't know that. How does it work?
Well, all the raw materials needed for photosynthesis, like water and minerals, are absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaves.
And what about carbon dioxide? Where does that come from?
Carbon dioxide is taken in by the plant through tiny pores on the surface of the leaves, called stomata.
Wow, so the leaves have everything they need to make food for the plant.
Exactly. The leaves contain a green pigment called chlorophyll, which helps them capture the energy from sunlight.
And that energy is used to synthesize food from carbon dioxide and water, right?
Yes, that's the process of photosynthesis. It's a unique process on Earth that produces the food and oxygen we all depend on.
Incredible. I can't imagine life without photosynthesis. It's so important.
Absolutely. Plants are the foundation of life on our planet.
Their ability to convert sunlight into food is truly remarkable.
Other modes of nutrition in plants. Some plants, like the cuscuta or a marbel, don't have chlorophyll and can't make their own food. Instead, they depend on other plants for their nutrients.
So they're like parasites, taken from the host plant.
Exactly. These plants are called parasites, and they deprive the host plant of valuable nutrients.
Wow, that's fascinating. Are there any other plants that don't rely on photosynthesis?
Yes, there are some plants that can actually trap and digest insects. These are called insectivorous plants.
Insects? That's amazing. How do they do that?
The leaves of these plants are modified into pitcher-like structures with a lid. The insects get trapped inside, and the plant secretes juices to digest them and absorb the nutrients.
That's so cool. I never knew plants could be so clever.
It is quite amazing, isn't it?
Nature has so many fascinating adaptations to help plants survive in different environments. Saprotrophs. Have you ever seen those fluffy, umbrella-like patches growing on rotting wood or moist soil during the rainy season?
Yes, I have. What are those?
Those are called fungi, and they have a unique way of getting their nutrients. It's called saprotrophic nutrition.
Saprotrophic nutrition. What does that mean?
Saprotrophs are organisms that absorb nutrients from dead and decaying matter. They don't need to produce their own food like plants do.
Wow, that's really interesting. Can you give me an example?
Sure. You might have seen mushrooms sold in the supermarket. Those are a type of saprotroph that feeds on the decaying organic matter in the soil.
I see. And what about the fluffy patches on the bread? Are those saprotrophs too?
Exactly. Those are also fungi, and they absorb the nutrients from the bread. This is a great example of saprotrophic nutrition.
That's so cool. I didn't know fungi could do that. Are there any other interesting facts about saprotrophs?
Yes, there are. Saprotrophs play a crucial role in the ecosystem by breaking down dead and decaying matter, recycling nutrients back into the soil. How nutrients are replenished in the soil. Have you ever noticed farmers spreading manure or fertilizers in their fields?
Yes, I have. What's the reason for that?
Well, plants absorb minerals and nutrients from the soil, and over time, those nutrients get depleted.
I see. So, the fertilizers and manure help replenish the soil with those nutrients.
Exactly. Fertilizers and manure contain important nutrients like nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus that plants need to grow healthy.
That makes sense. But why is nitrogen so important?
Nitrogen is crucial because plants need it to produce chlorophyll and other essential compounds. However, Plants can't directly use the nitrogen in the air, they need it in a soluble form.
Wow, I didn't know that. So, how do they get the nitrogen they need?
There's a special bacteria called rhizobium that can convert atmospheric nitrogen into a form that plants can use. Interestingly, rhizobium often lives in the roots of legumes like beans and peas, providing them with nitrogen in exchange for food and shelter.
That's amazing. I didn't realize there was such an important relationship between plants and bacteria.
Absolutely. This symbiotic relationship is very beneficial for farmers, as they can reduce the use of nitrogen fertilizers when growing legumes.